Unravel the twisted tale of Anthony Sowell, the Cleveland Strangler, as we dive into the shocking details of his life, crimes, and the judicial process that left an indelible mark on the community and the American justice system. Brace yourself for a riveting journey through the chilling case of Anthony Sowell, the notorious Cleveland Strangler. From the horrifying discoveries in his home to the intricate legal battle that followed, this video will unveil the complexities of capital punishment and the American judicial system. Anthony Edward Sowell's upbringing in East Cleveland, Ohio, laid the foundation for a life marred by abuse and violence. From a traumatic childhood under the care of his mother, Claudia Gertrude Garrison, to his harrowing experiences within his own family, Sowell's early years were plagued by unimaginable cruelty and suffering. Born into a family of 7 siblings with his single parent, Claudia Gertrude Garrison, Sowell's childhood was marked by extreme abuse and trauma. Following the death of his sister due to illness, 7 more children joined the household under Garrison's care. Accounts from Sowell's niece, Leona Davis, revealed a harrowing environment where physical abuse was rampant. Garrison subjected the children to brutal punishment, including forcing Davis to strip naked and whipping her with electrical cords in front of others. The cycle of abuse continued as Sowell, at a young age, began raping his niece on a regular basis for 2 years. Shockingly, Davis reported that other males in the household also engaged in these heinous acts. Despite the horrors he faced at home, Sowell decided to enlist in the United States Marine Corps on January 24, 1978, at the age of 18. During his 7-year military career, Sowell received accolades such as the Good Conduct Medal with a Service Star, a Sea Service Deployment Ribbon, a Certificate of Commendation, a Meritorious Mast, and 2 letters of appreciation. His deployments took him to locations like Camp Lejeune in North Carolina, Marine Corps Air Station Cherry Point, and even overseas to Japan and California before his discharge on January 18, 1985. Anthony Sowell's troubled past paints a vivid picture of the horrors he endured and perpetrated. From the abusive environment of his childhood home under his mother's care, to the disturbing cycle of violence within his own family, Sowell's early life was a harrowing tale of suffering and trauma. Despite seeking refuge in the military, his experiences continued to shape his future actions, ultimately leading to a legacy of violence and crime that would haunt the community for years to come. As Anthony Sowell's life continued to unfold, a series of harrowing events led to his incarceration, release, and the gradual unraveling of his dark secrets. In 1989, Sowell's violent tendencies surfaced when he attacked a pregnant woman, binding and gagging her before nearly choking her to death. He faced charges in 1990, including kidnapping, rape, and attempted rape. Sowell ultimately pled guilty to attempted rape and served a 15-year prison sentence, which concluded in 2005. Upon his release, Sowell attempted to rebuild his life, working in a factory until 2007. He then began collecting unemployment benefits and made a living by selling scrap metal. His neighbors complained about the foul smell emanating from his residence, prompting concerns from the health department. Sowell's relationship with Lori Frazier, a niece of Cleveland Mayor Frank G. Jackson, began shortly after his release from prison. She lived with him in his home, where she claimed to have smelled decaying bodies. The source of the odor changed from Sowell's stepmother to Ray's sausage shop, depending on her account. Frazier's association with Sowell continued until at least 2008, as her involvement with him highlights the unsettling life that unfolded in the years following his incarceration. This chapter serves as a chilling prelude to the horrifying crimes that would come to light in the following years. As the horrifying truth about Anthony Sowell's crimes began to surface, the discovery of multiple bodies and the subsequent arrest would lead to a chilling trial that would shake the community. In September 2009, Sowell lured LaTundra Billups to his home, where he viciously assaulted and raped her. On October 29th, police arrived at his residence with an arrest warrant, but he was not present. He was eventually located and arrested on November 1, 2009. The gruesome discoveries at Sowell's home revealed the horrifying extent of his crimes. 2 bodies were found buried in a shallow grave in the basement, while 4 other women were discovered on the 3rd floor and in crawl spaces. Further investigation in the backyard led to the unearthing of 3 more bodies and partial remains of a 4th victim, including a human skull found inside the house. The victims had been killed primarily through manual strangulation, with others gagged or found with ligatures on their bodies. Sowell was also accused of raping 3 women who were enticed to his property under the pretense of smoking crack cocaine with him. At the age of 50, Sowell had been living at that location for 4 years when he was arrested and held on a $5 million bond. The trial, initially scheduled for June 2, 2010, faced multiple delays due to various reasons, finally commencing on June 6, 2011. This chapter serves as a chilling account of the shocking discoveries, and the subsequent legal proceedings that would hold Anthony Sowell accountable for his heinous crimes. As the judicial process unfolded, Anthony Sowell faced a series of trials, appeals, and ultimately his death, shedding light on the complexities of capital punishment and the legal system. Sowell was charged with 11 counts of aggravated murder and 74 counts of rape, kidnapping, tampering with evidence, and abuse of a corpse. Initially, he pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity, but later changed his plea to not guilty. On July 22, 2011, he was convicted on all but 2 counts, which included the murders of the 11 women found in his home in 2009. The jury recommended the death penalty, and on August 12, 2011, Judge Dick Ambrose upheld their recommendation. Sowell was sentenced to death and placed on death row at Chillicothe Correctional Institution in September 2014. His legal team, led by Jeffrey F. Kelleher and Thomas Rain, filed an appeal with the Supreme Court of Ohio in November 2011. His execution was initially set for October 29, 2012, but a motion for stay of execution was filed and granted in April 2013. In October 2014, new lawyers, Jeffrey M. Gamso and Erica Cunliffe, appealed to overturn his conviction and death sentence on 21 grounds, focusing on 3 main issues: extensive media coverage, a closed courtroom during an evidentiary hearing, and inadequate legal representation. In September 2014, the court asked both parties to address 3 issues. On April 5, 2016, the Ohio Supreme Court heard arguments from Sowell's appellant attorneys and the Cuyahoga County DA representing the state of Ohio regarding the merits of the closed pretrial suppression hearing and Sowell's right to a fair and public trial. His lawyers argued that his Sixth Amendment right was violated and the court should commute his death sentence to life imprisonment. The state countered that the violation would not have affected the trial outcome and that the overwhelming evidence and heinous nature of the crimes warranted the death penalty. In October 2018, the U.S. Supreme Court declined to hear his appeal. In February 2018, the Ohio Supreme Court denied his request to reopen his appeal. In May 2020, the state of Ohio's 8th District Appellate Court also denied his appeal. On February 8, 2021, Anthony Sowell passed away at an Ohio prison hospital due to an unspecified terminal illness. This chapter highlights the intricate legal process that followed Sowell's arrest, from his conviction and sentencing to his numerous appeals and eventual death, shedding light on the complexities of capital punishment and the American judicial system. The aftermath of Anthony Sowell's conviction in December 2011 unveiled a series of events that continued to reverberate even after his incarceration. From the demolition of his infamous residence on 12205 Imperial Avenue to his transfer to receive end-of-life care in 2021, the case left a lasting impact on both the victims' families and the community at large. Following his conviction, Sowell was incarcerated at the Chillicothe Correctional Institution for nearly a decade until his transfer to the Franklin Medical Center in Columbus in January 2021 due to an unspecified terminal illness. He remained there until his passing on February 8, 2021. The case was later featured on the series premiere of the investigation discovery show Killer Instinct, shedding light on the depths of Sowell's atrocities. Additionally, a documentary film called Unseen, produced by Laura Paglin in 2016, highlighted the stories of the victims and survivors impacted by Sowell's crimes. Sowell's actions prompted responses from the community, with a letter he penned in 2012 criticizing public figures like former trial judge Tim McGinty sparking further controversy. Furthermore, the groundbreaking of the Garden of 11 Angels Memorial on Sowell's former property in July 2021 stood as a poignant reminder of the lives lost. The memorial was dedicated on November 6, 2021, in honor of the victims. Additionally, survivors of Sowell's kidnappings shared their harrowing experiences on Oxygen's snapped episode, Notorious the Cleveland Strangler, which aired on July 24, 2021. If you're captivated by real-life crime stories and the intricacies of the legal system, we invite you to check out our channel.